The Invisible Man is directed by Leigh Whannell. It stars Elisabeth Moss, Oliver Jackson, and it's a Blumhouse picture. So I saw this film on Friday night. I'm just going to start off by saying that the trailers are right on point. There's not a bunch of clips that you see in the trailer that are not in the movie. There's like one, and I think it was just there to make the trailer more intense. But the part where she throws the paint on the Invisible Man and he's on the ladder and you see the paint fill his face, that's in the trailer. All the cop shots are in there. Some of the action pieces are in there. Some of the dialogue's in there. I was very happy that they didn't cut all that out because there was a lot of parts on that. They were very good. I have to say that this movie has a very third-dimensional look to it. The way they do the camera angles and they move everything. They let you know and they give you a feeling that someone else is there with you when you're with this character. Elisabeth Moss' character is constantly paranoid about stuff, and you can actually feel that with her by the way they do the camera angles. It's almost three-dimensional. It's pretty intense, and I did enjoy it. It's much more intense than I expected, and it does have you very edgy. You're very very focused. You're hyper-focused with this one. The tension in this is very high, and it never slows down, really. There were a couple slow parts in it, but it keeps you pretty invested. The characters are constantly growing, and they think she's crazy. She keeps trying to explain, hey, there's someone following me, and they really convince you that these characters don't believe her, and you get very irritated because you know what she's seeing, but everyone else thinks she's crazy, so you kind of understand where they're coming from, but you're also frustrated because you understand where she's coming from. So they kind of keep you looped up in the drama and frustrate you constantly. And one of my biggest compliments, they don't try and freak you out with a bunch of stupid jump scares. When there's tension, you have to figure it out for yourself by paying attention to the small things that are in the background. They make it very subtle. They don't just throw it in your face. They only do that a few times. There's not a bunch of stupid jump scares where she's sitting there and then the cat jumps up on the table, or someone grabs her shoulder, or the phone rings really loud. They let you kind of figure it out yourself. That's why they give you these third-dimensional camera angles, and they make you just like, oh, shit. I know something's there, but they're not letting me know. But they let you know it's there by not giving you any clues that it's there. So it keeps you so invested on the surroundings. You're just constantly you're always looking in the background, seeing what's going on. You gotta check this one out. The trailers are on point. This was a good movie. It has a pretty good ending to it. I thought the way they structured everything was good as well. But please go in with somewhat of an open mind and realize this is about a man who's invisible, because if you try to go in there too harsh, because I'm about realism, I'm very strict on realism, but I can also bend reality to an extent because I'm watching a movie here, you know what I mean? So don't try to take it too seriously. So I will say that this is theater worthy. It's a great movie. It threw me off guard. I didn't think it was going to be that great. I thought it was going to be very tacky. Maybe there's going to be a lot of corny stuff in it. It was going to have a poor ass ending. No, it shocked me. I was surprised, pleasantly surprised. This is a solid film. It's worth your time. It's worth a viewing in theaters. And if you don't want to see it in theaters, it is definitely worth a rental. And it is 100% worth your time to watch and view at least one time. It's something I could watch a few times, but if you're not one of those type of people, it's worth a one-time watch. I'm going to grade The Invisible Man a B. I'm going to catch you movie fans on the next review. Or maybe you won't see me for another review.